Yo, what's going on, guys? This is gonna be one of the most milked topics in Dragon Ball Z, which is Gogeta versus Vegeta. And I mean, if this video is maybe milked, but if this video is the video that blows up on my channel, then I mean that's great. So, I got this video idea not from Versus Battles, although I did watch their video, and there were some. It was like 2 days ago, but there were some things I remember that I didn't agree with. But I'm not here to debunk that video or anything. I'm just here to give my take on Gogeta versus Vegito, because it really is flip a coin up in the air, and some things are taken out of context, like what we're about to get into with Vegito and the rival boost, as well as the Patara fusion being better than the fusion dance. So here, obviously in the anime, it says, and the effect is even greater than fusion, referring to the fusion dance and the effect of the Patara earrings, which means that the effectiveness of the Patara earrings is greater than the fusion dance, which makes sense. That doesn't mean that doesn't inherently mean that it's stronger, but you can interpret it that way. I don't blame you, but you can also interpret it as the Patara is just a better fusion, which it is, and in the manga it actually says, of course, it's even better than fusion, which is referring to the fusion dance. And the reason it's better doesn't always have to be because it's stronger. It could be better because you just have to put on earrings, as opposed to having to do a whole dance and having to do it perfectly and having have your power equal and having a chance of messing it up. So of course the Patara earrings, in terms of effectiveness and usefulness, is better than the fusion dance. So it is better, but I don't blame you if you interpret it as stronger. Although I think the Elder Kai would say, after all, he did he is the creator gods, and he does create the worlds in the universe, in Universe 7. So he would know about the Metamorphs and stuff. So he would say stronger if he meant stronger, but he said better because it is a better form of fusion. So because it is more effective. And now for the rival boost, which Vegito gets, it says, and since they're rivals, they're even stronger. It doesn't say that the Patara earrings specifically give the rival boost. So people just say that because they use the Patara earrings to fuse into Vegeta. But if they use the fusion dance to fuse into Gogeta, who's to say that they wouldn't get the rival boost from that as well? So, yeah. So basically, the way you can and probably should be interpreting this is that whenever rivals fuse, they're even stronger than if non-rivals fuse, which applies to all fusion, not just Patara fusion, because he doesn't say specifically Patara fusion. Although you could interpret it as this is one of the reasons why Patara is better than the fusion dance. Although he says, although the Elder Kai doesn't seem to know about it until he's like, oh, and since they're rivals, they're even stronger than that. And here's another translation that says they live to outdo each other. Which means which basically means the same thing, that they're rivals, but you can also interpret it as that that Kabuto Kai right there is like surprised at how strong they are, despite being a Patara fusion himself and being able to sense Goku and Vegeta's power, and since he's also a Patara fusion himself, he'd be able to gauge how strong Vegito is, but he's so surprised. So maybe the only reason Vegito is so strong is because of the rival boost. And if we give that same boost to Gogeta, then Gogeta would be massively stronger than what he showed, or is just equal to Vegeta in terms of power. But yeah, those are just two ways to debunk why the two most common reasons on why Vegito would be stronger. Although I'm not denying that he would be stronger. But now let's get into Gogeta and why he's not stronger. Let's debunk some reasons why people would say he's stronger. Alright, people bring up how the powers need to be equal, so that means that Goku has to lower his power level to Vegeta's level to match Vegeta. But we clearly saw that, at least from base form up to Super Saiyan 2, that Goku and Vegeta are pretty much exactly even, and the only thing Goku has over Vegeta is Super Saiyan 3. So all he has to do is just not use Super Saiyan 3, and he'll be equal to Vegeta. And then they describe the fusion dance as, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which is true. Gogeta is dozens of times stronger than Goku and Vegeta put together. So that is true. So Gogeta would not be weakened, and it would actually be able to draw out the full power of Goku and Vegeta when multiplied dozens of times over. While this seems to be just A times B, and then you can maybe throw in rival boosts or whatever into that. But yeah, you can't. And then yeah. And as for the opponents that they fight, Janemba is not all that crazy. I mean, he thinks that he could fight Gogeta, which Gogeta, by just fusing and powering up into Super Saiyan alone, was the bright light was shown, which I just rewatched the movie, or not the movie, but the fight scene in the movie Fusion Reborn, and the light seemed to be a galaxy, and the light seemed to cover the entire galaxy, meaning that Gogeta just powering up is at the bare minimum galaxy level, or at least his energy is, as it could be felt throughout the galaxy. And Janemba, of course, was right there in front of him, could feel that as well, and thought, yeah, I could fight this. So you could probably get him to galaxy plus level, and he can warp things around him, so he is a pretty good fighter and all, but he's only like maybe around Boo-Tank's level. Because Buhan, on the other hand, Buhan was, because Kid Buu has, the feats of destroying galaxies, but it seemed to be over time, seeing how it looked in the anime, that Kid Buu just destroyed galaxies over time, although maybe it's just because, destroying one planet at a time, etc., for how Kid Buu did things. But for Buhan, he's at the bare minimum that level, because, he obviously Kid Buu's a part of him. And then over double that, because Ultimate Gohan is above Super Buu. So, And then obviously all the other people that he absorbed, like Piccolo and Gotenks and stuff. And then when Buhan is angered, he's about to collapse at least the galaxy, but probably the entire universe in some translations. So yeah, Buhan, at least when he's angered, is definitely stronger than Janemba. Maybe when he's not angered, maybe you can say that they're on a similar level, Buhan and Janemba, but Buhan, I think still, even while not angered, is stronger than Janemba. So Gogeta fights the weaker opponent and absolutely destroys the weaker opponent. So I can't really say anything. I mean, he destroys them pretty fast, but that's because the fusion dance has a time limit of 30 minutes. And Gogeta went straight into Super Saiyan, so the time limit would be even shorter than 30 minutes. So Gogeta just wanted to get the fight done. And as for Vegito, at the time, the Potara fusion lasted forever, so Vegito didn't really have to worry about using too much power at all, and so was able to fight Buhan for much longer. Now, in all honesty, if Toriyama wrote it, he'd probably make them equal or Vegito stronger. But you can make an argument for Gogeta being stronger and winning, because the movies are in a different time, or are in a different dimension, as Toriyama said. So they could be stronger or weaker, and most of the movies have Goku and Vegeta stronger than their anime counterparts. So it'd be a stronger Goku and Vegeta with a similar fusion boost, if not slightly weaker, than the Potara fusion. So then, if you go by that logic, by movie Goku and Vegeta, then Gogeta would win. In terms of Z only, Z and Fusion Reborn only. But if Toriyama wrote it, he'd either make Vegito win or it'd be equal. Now, if we move on to GT, obviously Goku and Vegeta in GT are far stronger than they were in the Buu Saga. 10 years of training. Obviously, Goku's base form is equal to his Super Saiyan 3 form in the Buu Saga in terms of his base form in GT. So, yeah, it's just not even a question for which fusion stronger, because it's the stronger Goku and Vegeta, arguably using an equal or slightly less superior fusion and in GT, and with Super Saiyan 4 stacked on top of it. Plus Goku having the energy of all the other people, like all the other Saiyans like Goku, Trunks, Goten, etc., Pan, etc. So yeah, obviously this Gogeta beats Vegito most likely. But what about this Gogeta versus Blue Vegito? Now, this has been an argument for a very long time, but obviously now that everybody, times have changed. Everybody's more evolved now. Their brains are better. So I think most people would agree that Vegito Blue does beat Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and it's almost not even close. And now, if you need an explanation on why, I'll explain. Omega Shinron only, like the Omega Shinron, which with one attack, with the strongest attack, is arguably multi-galaxy to universal and universal plus over time. Over time, if you give him time to do that, and he's destroying world by world, then galaxy, then all in the galaxy, the universe with his attacks. So you can get him to universal plus. And Gogeta was just joking around with that guy. So Gogeta, you can't really quantify because he never really went full power. And when he was about to shoot a normal blast against Omega Shinron, that's his time ran out. So you can't really quantify how strong his full power is, but you can just scale it off of Omega Shinron and be realistic. Don't be like, oh, he's soloing Dragon Ball Super or he's beating Blue Vegeta, because he's just not. And the reasoning for this is because Goku in the first arc of Dragon Ball Super, Battle of Gods, with his with Super Saiyan God clashing with Beerus, who Beerus wasn't going full power, by the way. Clashing with Beerus, was able to shake and nearly destroy the universe if they kept clashing with their fists. So Goku in God is already nearly on that level in terms of Omega Shinron with his overtime feats, but he's on that level. He's on the level, if not beyond the level of Omega Shinron, because of his universal clashes with Beerus, and Beerus is even beyond that because Beerus is holding back against Goku. As everybody knows. Then we have Vegeta get God Ki, get Super Saiyan God. Then both of them get Super Saiyan Blue, which is a whole 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God. And mind you, they absorb God Ki and Super Saiyan God into their base form. So in their base form, they're already performing nearly the same feats as God Goku did against Beerus when Beerus wasn't going full power. Then they can stack Super Saiyan 2, and for Goku, Super Saiyan 3 on top of it. And then they can stack Blue, which is going Super Saiyan on top of having Super Saiyan God activated. So, obviously, that just gets them a universal plus at the bare minimum, both Goku and Vegeta, which I think Vegeta, at least in the Resurrection of F Saga, is stronger than Goku. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter. And then that's a whole arc. And then after that arc, the Universe 6 arc, the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc happens. That's another arc where they adapt. Goku gets Kaioken on top of Blue, and Kaioken up to times 10. Vegeta gets stronger, and they develop their Blue. And I think they even right before the Universe 6 tournament. And then the Goku Black happened. The saga happened. So, yeah, it's 2 whole arcs before the Goku Black saga where Vegito makes his appearance in Vegito Blue. And so you can just... He's just so far beyond Universal that I don't think Gogeta can keep up even with his full power. So, yeah, Vegito probably most likely wins against Super Saiyan 4 and Gogeta. And now for Vegito Blue versus Gogeta Blue, which is the final match of today. Because Goku and Vegeta showed up after, it's post-Tournament of Power, Goku and Vegeta, and they're far stronger. They probably got stronger during the tournament and then stronger after the tournament because they were seen training after the tournament at the end of Super. So, yeah, Gogeta would clap Goku Black Saga Vegeta. But if it was at the same, like if they were in the same time frame, like let's say they used Potara right after the Tournament of Power, then they'd probably be equal. And then even in Dragon Ball Heroes, they like showing Vegito and Gogeta as equals. But if I'm not mistaken, because I don't watch Heroes, I believe that Gogeta was the last one seen, like against I think Cumber or whatever. So since Gogeta was the last fusion scene, that would be the strongest iteration of Goku and Vegeta. scene that fuse, so Gogeta probably wins with that aspect as well too. So all in all, it's either a tie or Gogeta wins most of the time. So yeah.